Alright, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Monday Night Raw review. This one is for February 29th, 2016. The show opens up with Triple H, and as expected, he gets a lot of boos. Even though last week he got a lot of cheers, but it's a different town. He says that Roman should have listened to fear and not challenged authority. He calls out the fans and says that they don't challenge authority because they're scared. He says that Roman is not there at the moment because he's afraid that he'll get another injury. Dean Ambrose then comes out and says that he just got off the phone with Roman and that Roman is coming for him. Nobody knows what that means because nothing happened. Then he brings up all the events that happened last week that set up WrestleMania. He talks about Shane and The Undtertaker. He talks about Triple H beating down Roman Reigns. And he talks about him calling out Brock Lesnar. And after he goes over that, Shane O'Mac chants, "Fill the arena." He asks Triple H, "Who did you want to win at Fastlane?" Then he goes, better yet, "Who did you not want to win at Fastlane?" And Triple H says, well, the only two people who that match really had a chance of winning were Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. And he said that Dean had no chance. And then they get in each other's face. And Dean says that he knows that he is the last guy Triple H wants to fight. And says that Triple H is smart enough to know that he can't beat Dean Ambrose. And Dean goes on to challenge Triple H in a one-on-one match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He says that Roman won the right to fight for the championship, but it doesn't necessarily have to be against Triple H. Triple H says he will answer before the end of Raw and announces that Dean Ambrose will face Alberto Del Rio in the main event. The first match of the night is Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch in a number one Contenders Diva match to face Charlotte at WrestleMania. Sasha takes over early with a headlock, and the crowd gets very divided. You got "Let's go Sasha," "Let's go Becky" chants. They both attempt their submissions, and it was very, very even. Becky hits a dropkick off the top rope and gets a 2 count. And then Becky has Sasha up on the top rope. She's headbutting her. But then she just kind of stops headbutting her and lets Sasha hit a sunset flip. And they get a double pin. It's a draw. They both win. They both lose. So nobody faces Charlotte at WrestleMania. But later on in the night, Charlotte announces that they have another Divas number one contender match on SmackDown. So I'm just give a triple threat, please. That's what we want to see. This first match of a bunch of matches that no one really gave a shit about. There was literally, 2 good matches on this whole show? Two matches I cared to write about. Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz. Apparently earlier today, or earlier in the day on Monday, The Miz was talking about how he can't wait to get to WrestleMania, and Dolph Ziggler says that you don't have the right to go to WrestleMania. You don't have the right to be a WWE superstar because he has to earn it and he hasn't done anything. Miz then wins in 2 minutes by roll up and says that I'll beat you anytime, anywhere as he's walking up the ramp. Stephanie comes out to give her acceptance speech of the Legacy Award. She asks for the respect of the WWE Universe because she deserves it. And she gets a lot of boos and Shane O'Mac chants in return. She says that Shane isn't there because he's a loser and does not care about this company. And the boos get louder every time she tries to talk. She then gets pissed off, grabs the his little trophy there, and flips the podium. She starts to shit talk Shane and says that Shane does not love or support the WWE. That's why he hasn't been there for 7 years. She says she loves Shane, but does not respect him because every time he gets in close, she backstabs him, and tells the crowd then before she leaves, she tells the crowd to bow down to the queen. The Lucha Dragons versus Sheamus and Rusev. No entrance for the Lucha Dragons, and the United States Championship is on the team. So I decided not to care about this match. League of Nations win. Del Rio then attacks Kalisto. Ryback versus Adam Rose. No, who cares? Ryback wins with Shell Shock. Y2AJ versus The New Day. Kofi starts off against Jericho. I didn't get to see most of the match, but when I did, AJ hit Big E with a Pele kick and then tagged in Jericho. Jericho hits a bulldog on Kofi. He then drop kicks Xavier and then hits a lion salt on Kofi and gets a 2 count. Styles takes out Big E with a forearm and Kofi taps to the walls. After the match, AJ announces that with that win, because that's the second time they've beat the New Day, that makes them number 1 contenders, and Jericho challenges New Day to a title match on Monday. So, next week it'll be Y2AJ versus New Day for the World Tag Team Championships. Could see that going to WrestleMania. I'd like to see AJ Styles win a championship, and I'd like to see him win a championship at WrestleMania. I don't care if it's a tag team championship. I just want him to have gold. Vince then comes out and says that Shane will not win at WrestleMania. He says that he loves Shane so much that he's going to teach him a lesson. And his lesson is going to be taught by The Undertaker. The Undertaker then comes out, and Vince is like, The Undertaker, he's mine. He is mine. And he's like, he does whatever and right before he says he does whatever I say, Taker grabs him by the throat and says that he clears his throat first and then says, you know what I do. Shane's blood is on your hands, not mine. And then he leaves. The whole hyped up Taker segment, he was out there for a minute and a half. His entrance was longer than the time he was in the ring. After Taker leaves, Vince says that if Shane loses, he's going to write him out of the will and disown him. And he ends with, Shane will no longer be his son. He will just be a son of a bitch. And then that segment is over. Jey Uso versus Bubba Ray. No one cares. I hope this ends before Mania and does not get put on Mania. That would be stupid. Devon hits Jimmy with a table, even though they said they weren't going to use tables. And then Bubba slams Jay for the win. Kevin Owens versus Big Show, a rematch from SmackDown. Big Show wins by countout. Brie Bella versus Naomi. No entrances for either woman. Naomi wins by tap out. Lana then comes out and laughs at Brie. They had a backstage segment. I don't know why they did, but they did. Dean Ambrose versus Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio starts on top. He completely destroys Dean Ambrose. But Dean Ambrose eventually reverses the cornerstone thing. And then he gets beat up some more. Del Rio hits the cornerstone thing on the barricade, kind of like how he did to Kalisto at Fastlane. And Ambrose comes in at 8. Ambrose then starts to rally. He hits a missile dropkick on Alberto Del Rio and gets a 2 count. Triple H then comes out and he gestures for the League of Nations to come in the ring. They jump Dean. Dean wins by DQ. And then Triple H gets in the ring. He's like, Dean, you're just never going to learn. And when he says that, Dean then attacks Triple H. Triple H hits a pedigree. And he's like, you want your title shot? You got it. He walks up the ramp. Dean, then he's like, hey, Hunter, thank you. And Triple H is like, you motherfucker. And that is my phone. I should probably turn that on silent, but I only got one more thing to say. After Dean thanks him, Triple H gets back in the ring and beats him up like he did to Roman Reigns last week. No Roman Reigns on this show. So I don't know what he meant at the beginning where he said he was coming for him, because we all know he's going to win at WrestleMania. We all know that. Unless they completely scrap right now and work it for Dean to win, that's the only way Roman Reigns is not walking out of WrestleMania with the championship. But I don't know. We'll see how things pick up. I wish, I don't know. They need to listen to their fans and do good. But that's going to be it. Raw sucked. I'm just Raw. Raw was terrible. There's literally 4 weeks until WrestleMania, and Raw sucked ass. But thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Cam Cody, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.